Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, and I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me, then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know. 205-964-5243. Now you know.
What's happening for Flippanor 222? We're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate, where you can get in the game with little or no money. It's low risk, high reward opportunity of all opportunities, for sure. So I think Renikia will be joining us. Adria is here. I was the issue last week. Had a little cough going on or whatever, so I'm good now. But if you want to join the live stream before I turn it over to AP, you have your own personal seminar. Just text the word Gator to the number, and we'll get you on the live stream, and you can get your questions answered with us. Get pushed to the front of the line. You can ask multiple questions. Nothing else. Turn it over to AP.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this Thursday evening. This is the place, as Ty said, where you ask questions in regards to wholesaling real estate with no cash or credit, in addition to other forms of real estate investing. You post the questions, I'll read them, and you'll get an answer from either the beautiful Miss Renikia, who should join us soon, or Ty himself. We are available across all social media platforms. So if you're having trouble listening across one, just join us on another. YouTube typically delivers the best live experience. Also, keep in mind, you can join us live, ask your own questions, ask your follow-up questions, as Ty just mentioned. Just text to the number 205-964-5243 to join us. Want to give a shout out to Already Ready, Wal Kadaris, Andre CNB Investments, Courtney Johnson, VB, Rita Webb from Nollins, S. Patrick Lewis, Charlie Montgomery, BB Bolger. Thank you for joining us. I see you guys on Instagram and TikTok as well. We're going to dive right into this thing. Yes. Andre Turner, Ty wants to know, can you speak a little bit about surplus funds?
About surplus funds. Okay, before I answer that question, make sure you get access to the contract. This is your superpower. You need the paperwork to put all of this together. That's what makes it go. I've been using this contract since 2003. You can get access to it by texting the word contract to the number. And it's an instructional video on how to fill it out for sellers and buyers, how to get it signed virtually, and of course, access to the contract as much as you want for free. So text the word contract to 205-964-5243. All right, so surplus funds. I have no idea what he's talking about. There it is.
Wow. Okay. Andre, not sure exactly what that means. I'll Google it and maybe we can follow up on that.
Surplus funds
in regards to real estate. What does it say? What does it say?
Surplus.
Okay. Let's see here.
Okay, let me read it.
Okay.
Surplus funds are surplus refers to the funds remaining after payment of all disbursements required by final judgment of foreclosure and shown on the certificate of disbursements, as stated by the Florida Statute 545.03. So I don't know if that's a Florida thing or that's nationwide or what. So there you go. Basically, when a foreclosure happens, it's possible there's some surplus funds available for someone. I guess there's a method of going about capturing those funds. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Mobile, Virginia. I see you all. H-Town. Okay.
Mobile? That's my boy Malcolm?
That's Courtney. Courtney's from Mobile.
Okay.
She in there. Joshua Davis, this is his first one, so thank you for having. Joshua also says, thanks, Flipman, for the information. $7,000 off a cold call deal.
Boom. That's what's up.
His first one.
That's what's up.
Yes,
Love it.
yes.
Love it. Love it.
Okay. Let's see here. Kevin Hollis has a question in regards to the contract, and he wants to know, what do I do if the seller's attorney wants to tweak my contract?
Okay, so his question was, what do you want to, what should he do if the seller's attorney wants to tweak his contract? Speaking of contract, before I start that one, this is the contract for Lien. If you want access to it, yeah, that'll work. If you want access to it, text the word Earth to the contract for Lien wholesaling. All right, so that's going to happen. If you do this long enough, you're going to have the sellers that want their attorney to review your agreement. And so with that being said, if they review the agreement, the attorney, what people have to understand about your attorney, that contract could be perfect. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to do something to justify you paying them, whether they really need to do it or not. They're just not going to ever say, oh, that's good. That means, you know, they can still charge you because they spent their time to review it, but they probably feel like, well, damn, you know, I didn't even need you to, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, it just depends on what they alter on the contract will factor in. So.
All right. Miss Cheryl, I see you. I'll bring you on as soon as I take 2 more questions out of the chat. Take your time and enjoy that meal. Okay. Let's see here. Quartarius, hopefully I said that right, Ford wants to know, are there any other documents needed besides the contracts and assignment form?
Are there any other documents needed besides the contract and assignment form? Well, technically you only need just the contract itself. You can also, an contract can be included with the purchase and sales agreement. But the way we do it is we just use 2 purchase and sales agreements in most cases, right? Now, a recent deal that I just did, it was out of state, Florida. They made us do an assignment contract, right? We tried to do the 2 purchase and sales, but the title company wasn't comfortable with that. So they made us do an assignment contract, but you know, it's cool. You know, we've been doing it for free. No big deal. And so it just depends on who you're dealing with. In most cases, the contract purchase and sales agreement will work by itself. Now, I use what we call a closing detail sheet. I don't have the card up here, but you could text the word close, CLOSE, to the number 205-964-5243. You can get free access to that actual document.
All right, thank you for that information. Lavaraman wants to know, will the seller and buyer ever meet? Would they cross me out? Is it a possibility?
Okay, great question. He wants to know, will the seller and the buyer ever meet? Before I answer that question, the reason most people fail in this business is because they never know what a great deal is. And if you text the letters GD, this video helps you figure that out. The backup video to that is, here it is. ARV. So they sort of go together, but watch the GD video first and then ARV. But that's going to happen, and it's going to happen often. That's part of what you have to maneuver when you're doing virtual wholesaling, because sometimes whenever you find a great deal, put it under contract, everything is perfect up until that point, but the seller, even if it's vacant, sometimes won't give you a key where you can put a lockbox on it. Sometimes the property will be occupied with the owner of the property. And so obviously they're going to be there. Sometimes it will be a rental property and the owner only feels comfortable showing the property with them being there. So that's going to happen. So how do you manage that? Number one, you're going to have to you make sure part of why you take photos and video is to help cut down on the traffic through a house. The people that are going to be interested are going to probably be more interested once they see the video and photos. And the ones that are not, that's going to probably be the turnoff for them. But fine, that cuts down some of the tire kickers. Okay, so the conversation that if the seller is going to have to be there, whether it's you or someone that's representing you, whether it's a friend or family member, a partner, another wholesaler or a real estate agent, you got to have the conversation with or if it's you, obviously, you're going to have a conversation with your buyer that, hey, I am wholesaling this property. I have it under contract. The price has already been negotiated. Any negotiation, the owner is going to be there when we show this property. Any negotiations go through me. If you have questions about the property, obviously I can't stop you from asking that. That's your opportunity to get more information about the property from the actual owner. But negotiations go to me. If you have a problem with that, then hey, this may not be the deal for you. We'll see you on the next one. All right. You got to have that serious conversation with them and just move forward.
All right. Thank you for that answer. All right, Miss Cheryl, adding you to the stream. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us tonight. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Colorado Springs. Okay, that's what's up. What's the
And-
weather like there today?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's about 78. No, we've had a ton of wind for the whole month, but not today. So it's just super pleasant. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Okay.
I appreciate you so much. I've been watching all your videos and I'm just about to start taking action, ordering some bandit signs. So yeah, so I'm just about getting there, just sort of absorbing as much as I can. So I'm really grateful for everything you're doing.
No problem at all. Thanks for joining us. What you got?
Well, I'm just wondering what the difference is between an assignment contract and the regular buyer-seller contract. Is it the same thing?
No, that's a great question. Okay, so the contract that I always say, hey, you can get a free copy and I'll show you how to fill it out or whatever. That's one of the ways to describe it is a purchase and sales agreement, right? Okay. A purchase and sale agreement. We call it a PSA for short.
Okay.
All right, so that's the actual document that's basically saying you and this owner of this piece of real estate have agreed to go through a transaction that you're going to purchase it. Now, because you have that legal document, and as long as that document, that contract does not say anything about you not being able to assign it or needing permission from the seller to assign it, then it's assignable. Okay, so now the assignment agreement is to basically execute the assignment if you decide to. So, and it details out who's the assignor, who's the assignee, the amount that you're assigning the property for. It identifies the property. And also, sometimes they may ask you to put a deposit up. It can be worded either way, but that at that point lets the actual buyer know what your actual fee is. I personally don't like to use an assignment contract unless forced to. But on the flip side of that, I always do assignments. You say, well, how is that possible?
Right.
Okay, so what we do is we still use two purchase and sales agreement. We use one purchase and sales agreement for you and the seller. And then we use another purchase and sales agreement for you and the buyer. The way it works is on the contract with you and the buyer, the seller is the seller, you the wholesaler or the buyer. When you at one price, then you with your cash buyer, your investor, you're going to do the same a similar document. It may be the actual same template. You're now the seller, and they are the buyer, the investor. At a different price. So just to give you some numbers, the contract with you and the seller may be $100,000. The contract with you and the buyer may be $125,000.
Right.
So you get the difference via an assignment fee of those two contracts. And that's just all handled at the title company attorney level on how the funds are dispersed without actually quote unquote double closing. Some people double close, but you can still do the assignment without an actual assignment agreement being in place.
Okay.
It's just all handled at the attorney and the title company level once the transaction is being put together. But
Okay.
those are the differences.
Well, thank you. So what determines that an assignment is necessary?
Assignment contract is necessary. It's just going to depend on some people are more detailed than others. They just like I was mentioning a deal in Miami, the land deal. The title company wanted it in place. You
Okay.
know, I sent them my closing detail sheet, and they said, "Oh, you all want to assign? We got to have an assignment contract in place between you all and the buyer." So
Okay.
we did it. You know, so
But that's
the buyer didn't sneeze at it or whatever, but but that's rare. And from my experience, with the number of deals I've done over the years, that's actually rare that they'll ask for it, even though that's what we want.
and that's just in addition to the buyer seller contract.
Well, it's in addition to you and the seller's contract.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
buyer and the seller won't actually have a contract amongst each other. The assignment contract is basically allows the buyer to buy you out of the deal through that assignment contract. You're assigning your position over to that particular buyer.
Okay, I understand that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
No problem at all. No problem. Please join us again.
I've been for the past 3 weeks, so I'm getting there. Thanks for the running start.
No problem at all.
All right. Thank you, Miss Cheryl. You have a good night, okay?
All right.
All right, Trev, you ready? Yep. All right. Next up, Trev G90. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right, doing all right. Was watching the game.
Oh, who winning?
It didn't start yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Where you calling from?
I'm in Connecticut.
Okay. What's your question tonight?
Well, my question is, I was able to lock up a contract with a seller, and we spoke a few days ago, and he was all interested, got the contract locked up, but now it's like feel like he's dodging me, like he's not answering none of my calls because I was asking for trying to go there to get more pictures and stuff, and because I got a few people that want to see it. But now it's like he's not answering, and every time I call or text, he's like, "Something happened. I'll call you back." I'll never hear from him. So it was like, and I spoke with a closing attorney because Connecticut is mostly closing attorneys out here instead of title companies. So it was like they want fees, to open escrows. Not like you could just do it, with just a regular EMD. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to waste money, trying to open escrow if the guy's, flaking me. So my question to you is like, what should I do? Because
All right.
I got the
Good question. Great question.
contract
Go ahead.
signed, like,
I got you. Before I answer it, guys, if you want to partner with me on houses, just text 5050. Just follow the instructions in the video. But to answer your question, that's one of the reasons why you don't even worry about the title company or closing attorney, is because fees may be associated with that. And then when you find a buyer, they may not want to use them because they don't have a relationship with them. They already have relationships built with whoever they use. So you don't even worry about that part of it. Focus on the next hard part, which is the actual buyer. Okay, but as far as him ghosting you, or appears that he's ghosting you, do this. I don't know if you have someone that you could you really trust, that you could basically teach them the lingo of talking to a seller. Have somebody else to reach out to him to see if he's interested in selling the property, and see what the response is.
Gotcha.
Right,
Okay.
and that's going to tell you a lot right there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think.
And that'll let you know if you're wasting your time or not. Because if he goes into it like, oh yeah, I'm interested in selling the blah blah blah, then yeah, you probably won't ever be able to get him to close it.
Yeah, because it's like he signed a contract, but now he's not answering none of my calls.
Now sometimes it could be as simple people just have stuff going on in their life that's not as important anymore.
Yeah.
Right now. You know what I'm saying? It could be as simple as that. So,
I'm hoping because every time he texts, he's like, "I got something going on. I'll hit you back." But I don't know. It just sounded like completely, night and day from the first time we was talking. Like he was so eager to sell, and now he's like,
I got you.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you still got to do your follow up again, but I would definitely try to get somebody else a little training and get them to reach out to him and see what that'll tell you a lot on where he is. If he's like, well, I already got somebody I'm gonna sell it to, blah blah blah, then you're good. You just got to be patient.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
No worries. Have a good night.
Are you too?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, you too can join us. Still plenty of time. Text the word Gator to the number 205-964-5243. And you can join us and ask your questions and any possible follow-up questions that you may have. Would love to have you on right now. Let's see here. Going to Instagram, Navi_7God says, I filled out the contract for the first time. The agent called a bandit sign and signed $90,000 for the property, but then reneged. I met a young man doing 5 deals a month off Redfin, so I've been using that. Just calling agents. How can I find comps without using PropStream or batch leads?
You can maneuver your way through Zillow, Redfin, maybe even Realtor.com. They're not as user friendly as simple, but the data is there. You just have to know what you're looking for, but those can be used.
Okay, thank you for answering that. Let's see what else we have over here on Instagram. Hustle, that's how. Someone asked, how can I get an Aston Martin this year? Okay. Let's see here. Next question we're going to dive into is going to be, well, we kind of already answered that one. Ooh, how do you know a deal is a good deal? LaDonna Scallion.
Boom. Before I answer that, text messaging is one of the best ways to find motivated sellers. If you want to learn how to do that, text the word text to this number and you will thank me later. Oh, one more thing. My man Greg that shows up on Wednesdays on us, and he suggested that, hey, why don't you put the keywords in order where you can somewhat have a step-by-step course based on the keywords. So I did better than that. I just came up with one keyword to create a playlist, text VIP, and this particular keyword will share 9 videos with you. It's more than that, but those first 9 will basically take you through the process. So text VIP to the number and you will thank me later. All right, so do both contact PS have to go to the title company? Yes. Oh, that's a different question?
Go ahead and answer that one.
Yeah, that's a different, yes, they do. Well, it was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, how do you know a deal is a good deal? I don't know how that popped up.
How do you know if the deal is a good deal?
Yeah, how do you know a deal is a good deal?
The numbers. It's going to be hard for me to be able to explain it over here without doing a visual, and we can't do that because of Instagram and TikTok. And I hope Adrian forgot about those cats. But text GD to the number, and that video there will explain how to determine if you have a good deal or not. That is so important, and you need this video after that to make it all make sense.
Okay, thank you. And Sheila Wooten's question, do both contracts PSA go to the title company?
Yeah, you're gonna have to get both documents over to the title company at some point, but wait until you have both in hand in most cases.
Okay, and PSA guys, purchase and sales agreement. Thank you.
Purchase and sale agreement. Yeah. Sales agreement. There she goes.
Okay, so we get this question maybe ever so often, and this is from HU2 Confidential on TikTok. Hey, I'm 16 and wondering how I can make money as a minor. Now, before you answer that question, we're going to go ahead and bring on Miss Renikia. Hey, Ranny.
Hello, sorry for my tardiness.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
You're good.
Fine to put out. I'm so sorry.
So the question that we have is from TikTok, and it's from a 16-year-old who says, "Hey, I'm 16 and wondering how I can make money as a minor."
Well, whether you're 16 or 60, you got to educate yourself on the process first, right? You need to Google to see what age is needed to sign a contract in the states you're going to operate in, probably your state where you're located. And then you need to partner with someone of age, whether it's a parent, brother, sister, cousin, maybe even a friend that's of age to sign a legal agreement. And you all partner. You be the brains behind the operation. You just need their signature. You all work out what percentage you want to pay them for your brainyism, or your knowledge, your skills, your thoughts, Renikia.
No, I concur. I think at 16 is the perfect age to learn real estate. 16 is the perfect age. If you start learning by the time you're 21, you're a big beast. To just reiterate some of the things Ty stated, I would take this time to just learn, educate yourself on wholesaling and how to wholesale, and become an expert in putting out marketing such as bandit signs and things of that nature, and become a bird dog. At 16 years old, don't be afraid to be a bird dog. Join someone's team, become a bird dog, because once you start learning how to be a bird dog, now you'll get to a point where by the time you're 18 years old, you can contract your own contracts. So take these first 2 years, become a bird dog from a major team or people that you may meet out there, and see if they'll teach you how to go find deals for them, and learn that skill. By the time you're 21 years old, you'll be a beast.
All right. Thank you for answering that. Hopefully you got that information over there on TikTok.
I wonder
Uh-huh.
if someone would have told me about this at 16, how would I have received it?
Right.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have taken it in. I'm just, because what I was concerned about was I thought I was really good at basketball, right? I thought I was, until I went and seen Chris Jackson play. We were same age. I say, oh, I ain't that and won't ever be that. And so
Hey, at least you know. At least you know. Don't lie
time
to
to
yourself.
change focus. And then and all I cared about was girls, you know what I'm saying? So I wonder if someone would have introduced that. They probably would have had to come to me. I wanted a car so bad at that age that they would have probably had to come with me at that angle, because current situation couldn't, my mom couldn't afford one or whatever. But and I'm so ignorant back then. But anyway, they probably would have had to come to me at that point that, hey, you do this, you get your car, you probably get you a brand new car. They probably, I probably would have listened then, because I wanted a car so bad. That would have had to have been the carrot, the dangling carrot, or whatever. It wouldn't have been, be your own boss. And I ain't know nothing about that. I didn't know anything about that. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's the difference. I think when we started 15, 20, 30 years ago, social media, I think right now social media allows us to jump on social media and we can see the success of other people. And when you can see the success of other people, you're like, hey, how do they do that? And now you're trying to do what they did to get there. And I think back in the day when we started, you only people that knew was successful the ones that was in your hood. And they wasn't the guys you were trying to be like, they was drug dealers and people like that. Those were all successful people. But I think with social media at 16, you got 15-year-old that got YouTube channels making $100,000 a month. You got, the truth guy, he's 15 years old, making 6 figures in stock marketing right now. So I think the influence of today is making them think about being their own boss at 16 years old, which is very powerful. So.
Yeah, and back then, if you wanted to start this when I was even in college, or a little older, in my 20s. Now that's when the entrepreneur bug hit me in my early 20s in college. But back then, if you wanted to be an entrepreneur, I've said this before here on the channel, but we got new people here. Back then, if you wanted to be in business for yourself, that meant you were lazy and sorry. It didn't mean that you were, somebody.
Which is so weird, right?
Yeah, That
Oh,
means
you don't want to do nothing, right?
you didn't want to work. That means you didn't want to work. Now,
Yeah.
that still can be the case. Now, it can mean that, but it meant that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And so it wasn't cool to try to be an entrepreneur, where now it's the cool thing. I ain't working for nobody.
Right.
Yeah, but you still got to get out there and do it. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta bring yourself.
Bills still got to be paid. Now, if your entrepreneur thing ain't making you no money,
Yeah.
bills ain't being paid. You
Don't
need
let the perfect world of social media fool you now.
Oh yeah.
Closing, not closing.
But at 16, baby boy, you're time wealthy. You're time rich.
That's
Here's
deep.
my shirt.
Time wealthy.
Yeah, you're time wealthy. Now, most of us are, but you really are. So if you're time wealthy, time rich, guess what? You need to leverage that asset, which is time, to actually get some real assets.
Right. Because I started studying real estate at 19 years old. So, and I bought my first house when I was 21, 22. So trust me, if you start now, you're just ahead of a curve. You're ahead of the curve.
Way ahead of the curve. Way. Now, I'm sure
ahead of the curve. And then you also learning an asset class that is forever powerful. Forever powerful.
All right. Thank you for that. We're going to bring Brandon on. Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good, good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from out of Pittsburgh. I'm traveling right now through Arizona.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What's your question?
I had a question as far as like when, say, you secured a contract with the seller, and if the buyer kind of X's you out of the deal, have you heard of any instances where like the wholesaler would basically take like be able to claim their monies back in damages from like a interference or tortious like interference if they got like X'd out of a deal that they had under contract?
Yeah, it's called memorandum. You can file a memorandum, and that's what I think you're stating. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
They can file a memorandum. That's basically filing his contract on the title. So when you all run title, his contract comes up and it got to be cleared. Has to be cleared. So.
And then you'll file that with the county of the seller.
Yeah, where the property is located. Yeah.
You're gonna file it on the title of the house. On the property records of the house.
All right, so the memorandum. And then would I place that same contract, I would attach it with the memorandum and file it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
And they're gonna have to address you before they sell.
Okay. All right.
It's a hard ball to play. Do not take that and do the most with it for people that's looking, because people start just, putting all types of memorandums on these properties.
Well, and the way I look at it, my man, and of course do what you want to do, obviously, is that sometimes you're not going to close on these properties. That's the business. So if a seller changes their mind, they change their mind or whatever. So sometimes you're not going to close on these properties. You're not going to be able to find a buyer for it. So I just take it as, hey, I lost that one or whatever. Now if it's a situation where I know that they stop dealing with me because of another break, I may consider it, but I still probably won't do it. You know what I'm saying? But so that's the way I look at it, that, hey, I win some, hopefully a lot more than I lose or whatever. But because I know I'm not going to close on every property, and that's the business, and that's real. Anybody tell you anything else? Now you can buy it. Now you can always say, if I don't find a buyer from a buyer, if you're playing that game, that's fine. I'm talking about the people that ain't got no money. Like, that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes sellers are going to change their mind. So I just say, okay, well, I lost that one or whatever. So, but again, that's up to you. You can file a memorandum of contract if you want to cloud the title on it. So, but again, that's up to you.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
creates
Well,
enemies, so just be mindful of that. It does create enemies when you do things like that. But you know when you need to file it if someone just blatantly do something unethical. But if it's just one of them things where, you can let it go, just walk away as a numbers game.
Yep.
But yeah.
understood.
Mhm. But
Well,
I
I
would say
appreciate
this,
you guys'
that
help, though.
wholesaler does travel real quickly. So if you counter this wholesaler that try to cut you out a deal and go around you, that stuff travels. It's only a group of wholesalers in every county, in every city, in every state. And once your name get out there doing bad deals, going behind people back, trust me, that stuff travels. You'll get to a point where everybody know that you do bad deals and go behind people back, and no one want to do a deal with you. So just be mindful of just doing things like that and becoming a bad wholesaler.
Yeah, I'll definitely be still educating myself and then kind of learning where to navigate in that minefield. So,
Great
Appreciate it, man.
question.
Glad you joined us.
All right, thank you.
hey,
Be
I
safe on
appreciate
the
you.
road.
Yes,
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
be
absolutely.
careful. Okay, bye-bye.
Peace.
All right, guys, you still have the opportunity to join us as well. Again, just text the word Gator to 205-964-5243. Want to make sure you hang out with us to the end. The question that we will be asking today is going to be how to keep yourself motivated until you wholesale your first house and or land deal. So we're going to give you some
I like
pointers
that.
on that towards the end. That's the question of the day.
Throw up that thumb, man.
Oh my goodness, here we
I
go.
like
Okay,
that question.
wants to see the
Stick
thumbnail.
around for that answer. Stick around for that answer.
There it is. Will work for motivated sellers leads. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. I know you guys on
Looking
Instagram,
tired.
TikTok.
Looking tired.
Yes, the after five. What's wrong with your toes? They curled up. They toe curled up backwards.
Hey, you
For those
still marketing though. You still-
those that are on Instagram and TikTok, I know you can't see the screen right now, but I suggest 37 minutes in, go in and view that thumbnail. It'll also be a part of the video once it's added back later. Let me get that off. Okay, there we have it. And we're going to dive. Oh, the number again, Justin Harnett. Okay, 205-964-5243. Again, 205-964-5243. No representation is made to this channel. Okay, you know what? I was supposed to go into my girl six. Okay. Okay. Alicia Jackson sounds like it's kind of a good problem, Rennie, and maybe not. I'm seeing so many "We Buy Houses" signs, and after over a month of trying, how do I? Wait a minute. That's what we're gonna answer at the end. So Alicia, stay with us. She said, over a month of trying, how do I stay motivated? I apologize if you have answered this already tonight. No, we haven't, but we will. See, someone
That's a good
wants that question answered.
Make sure you bring her question back up when we get ready.
Yeah, that's a
I,
good question.
I absolutely will. Absolutely
Because I
will.
really think 90% of everyone that starts gonna feel like this.
Mm-hmm,
90%.
Okay, so hang tight, Alicia. We will most definitely answer that. Yeah, someone said they're still marketing your thumbnail. Yep, you said that. Okay, so Michael M says my first deal, which I got off the MLS, is delayed due to title issues as well. Do I have to do anything to protect my deal?
One thing about realtors, you don't find any realtors doing unethical things. Once you put it under contract, people call, hey, it's under contract, you put a backup offer in. But if you find it on MLS, you're dealing with real estate agents, they're licensed, they are bonded by laws, and you don't have to worry about what you would worry about dealing with a wholesale on the street. That's a different scenario. They're unethical, they all over the place. But when you're dealing with a realtor, just make sure your contract's up to date. Once you pass your due diligence, you put your earnest money out there. Once it gets to a deadline date, they are big on deadline dates, so don't let your contract go out of the deadline date. If it's a title issue, it's not your issue, that's a seller's issue. So they should be willing to extend that date out to when the title is fix or whatever the case may be. So just stay on top of it to make sure your contract is always in contract, because once you file out a contract, it's really up to the seller to extend it or give you another contract. So what do you say?
We're fine with it.
Yeah. so what the MLS they did what with it?
Oh, we fine with it. We fine with it. The answer was
First deal off of MLS, and just wanted to know, because of title issue delays, did they have to do anything to protect the deal?
No, that's common. That's part of course. You're gonna have title issues. That's not uncommon. That's the business.
Focus. Stay with us.
Hopefully it can be cleared.
Stay with us. Stay with us. Okay. So the next question will take us from Javon. How can I work a subject to deal? Do I need to check with the lender after I find out that the seller is open to this option?
No. No, you don't need to talk to the lender.
We called do.
Yeah, do or fail.
I know.
You don't talk to the lender. Only thing the lender's caring about is all the payments being made on time.
Yep. You just want to make sure those payments being made on time.
And now you do want to know the status of the loan, right? You want to know whenever part of the process of subject to, ideally you want to become an authorized, not really user, but someone that can talk about the account, because you need to know the status of that, because you would hate to go through all of that and they 2 weeks from an auction or whatever. So and then whenever you're doing that with a subject to, I'm not writing them a check. I'll write them a check if they want it in their hand, but it's in the lender's name.
Right.
But,
right. That'd be a requirement for me to be able to submit the check or submit your payment directly to the lender.
Yeah.
So now you can guarantee, because that's how a lot of foreclosure came about back in the day, is the fact that people was paying those payments, to those lease purchase deals that people was getting themselves into, and then the homeowner wasn't making the payments. And next thing you know, you come home from work, you got a foreclosure sign on your home. So you just want to make sure if you can get control of that process, get full control of you making those payments directly.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for answering that. Let's see here. Jabari Roberts wants to know, how do you build a motivated sellers list?
Well, one of the ways that you can do it is text messaging. I mentioned that, text the word text. Another way is cold calling. You can do it yourself, or a lot of people want a VA. It's an opportunity to use the same outfit that I use to do to do cold calling for us. Text the word scale, not scales, but scale. So you can scale up or whatever, and keep the appointment. If you make the appointment, keep it. And then you need if you want to do it yourself, you need the proper tool to speed up the process. Text the word dollar. So cold calling, text messaging, bandit signs, driving for dollars, co-wholesaling, direct mail, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, Instagram ads. Did I say driving for dollars?
Yes.
Door knocking. Boom. Marketing. You're going to generate those leads. If Walmart is almost $1 trillion company, and I said it the other day, they could probably stop advertising and marketing and probably still be profitable. But guess what? They will never do that. They spend billions a year, and to make billions, right? If they feel they need to do it, me as a small guy, what do you think I need to do? I need to be marketing my butt off too.
That's true.
They can literally probably stop, never spend another dime in advertising, still
Trust me, we won't have to see another Walmart commercial. And when we go to Walmart, I don't even know the last time I seen the smiley face guy. You're gonna go to Walmart. Once your brand get that, But the key is that's a great point. If people like Walmart is still marketing.
You gotta let people know you exist. Period. What you do. You gotta know what you're offering. Your job as a wholesaler is to reach out to in some form or fashion, as many people that own real estate need to know about you. Then a certain number of them are going to actually be interested in selling. Guess what? A certain number of those are actually going to be interested in selling cheap enough that you can wholesale it. It's a numbers game. As Renika always says, it's a numbers game. So marketing makes that a lot easier, and networking, that helps too, for sure. But marketing is, you gotta let people know you exist in some form or fashion.
All right, thank you for that. Let's see here. How long are you going to be streaming? We normally last about an hour.
Yeah.
Oftentimes a little more than an hour.
Keep watching. We're here.
Yeah, Joshua Marquez, we'll be here. We'll be here. Michelle's back in here. Hey, bring you back. Bring you back. Hey, ask your questions, get your follow-up questions, and your follow-up questions
that?
after your questions. Michelle, hey there.
The more questions I can answer, the more questions.
Hey, do it. Hey, take advantage of it. That's what I was saying.
That's
Y'all
right.
would be sick of me. Yeah, this was back 2003.
Wow. Well, my first question is, I have driven for dollars quite a bit in my town, and this town has grown from like 300,000 from when I was little, maybe 150,000 to almost 1 million.
Wow.
And every part of town I've driven in, I have not seen any signs that say we buy houses. I've seen bandit signs anywhere except for maybe like state sales and stuff like that, the stop signs on weekends. But I have yet been going out for about a month, and I haven't found any we buy houses sign, any bandit signs. And I just wondered, well, you answered the question basically saying, other ways to market, if that's something that's maybe not allowed in town for some reason.
Well, now Colorado Springs. I'm looking at Metro Colorado Springs is 755,000. How far is that from Denver?
It used to be 2 hours, about an hour and a half, because both cities have grown quite a bit.
I got you. All right, so that's a decent sized market, and so ideally, let me just say this: in most cases, where you can get away with bandit signs are in the lower priced houses in that market.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do a quick Zillow search here.
Thank you.
Just to give us a threshold, and this may help you out. You may say, "Well, I might not have been in those areas before." So let's go to those Z. And
PNC area.
So Colorado Springs, Colorado. I gotta spell it right for her.
Colorado.
I got it.
Okay.
All right, so houses. All right, we're going from low to high. Yeah, low to high. All right, so what we got here? All right, now we have houses as cheap as in the 80s, 90s, and then it gradually goes up into the hundreds. So those neighborhoods where the houses are in the 80s, 90s, low hundreds, you definitely need to check those out. The zip codes that I'm seeing here are, let me see. What am I seeing here? This way.
It'd be 809 something.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just click on the 80907.
80907.
Yeah, 80907.
Okay.
I see a mobile home in this area right here, so I know they got it going. 80907 again. Let me see here. Now that's 200 something thousand right there, but that's probably still low in that area, in that market. Man, it jumps up quick. It goes. I see a few under 100. I mean under 200, but after that, it ain't many. After that, so now I'm saying this $200,000 to $300,000.
Maybe the 200-300 can be flipped out to be 600-700.
Yeah. Well, now that's the retail price on this area here, 80905.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see this house here. Now,
You don't-
this house here, I think needs a lot of work though, that I'm looking at right here. But those are going to be the area to start in. But that's the way you would do it. Just go to Zillow, houses for sale. You could over to the right, it says sort by, and it's going to
Okay.
give you an option to filter from high to low or low to high. Start
Okay.
from the low to high. Check out those areas, which you grew up there, so you'll be familiar with those
Yeah.
areas. And
I'm-
then you say, well, hey, I've already driven those areas. And yeah, so you have some markets where
Okay.
bandit signs technically don't exist. But what I would do in those zip codes I just gave you,
Yeah.
I would test those zip codes. When I mean test, I mean put out 15 or so, 10 or 15, wait 3 or 4 days. If most of them are still up, you put out more or whatever.
I
But
think
those
a busy area with no bandit signs is good.
Oh, yeah.
Because that means that you can be the fish in the sea that everybody attracts to.
Right.
Because then you the trendsetter with the business signs, and next thing you know, you become the person that everyone attracts to. So don't look at it as, oh, I'm scared of it. Look at it, okay, I could be the
Right.
go-to investor in this area where no one is taking the risk to market.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know?
Because I thought of it both ways. Like maybe there aren't any wholesalers like putting out an effort.
Right.
out.
No one's wholesaling in Colorado Springs, maybe. You know?
Yeah.
There's no reason for bandit signs to go up.
Yeah.
You know.
Do it. So I'll just put them out there, even if I get in trouble or whatever. Because
But do it on the weekends. Do it on the weekends, Friday. Take it up Sunday night, early Monday morning.
okay.
Usually law enforcement don't work on the weekends, and that's why bandit signs goes up on the weekends.
I
Because they
see.
only work Monday through Friday. Usually.
Okay.
In most counties, they
Okay.
only work Monday through Friday. And that's why, you see a lot of them go up on the weekends because they're not working. But they
For
start coming down during the week when they start back working. So
Right. Okay. But I live right in the area. I'm 80904, so I'm really close
right.
to that.
And
So
I love the neighborhoods, the $1 million neighborhoods. I mean, you can find a $300,000 house in a $1 million neighborhood. That's a gold mine for a true investor in the area out there.
true. True.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good to know. I appreciate your help on that. I got to just remember how to do that on Zillow. Okay, and I do have a second question, but thank you for that. Kind of gives me some
No problem.
running room. So, what about auctions? Because a lot of people, and I'm just curious about pre-foreclosures and auctions. How, is that an opportunity where someone's selling a house for $100 and, I can basically buy that house and then sell it to a seller? And is that a good opportunity, or it depends on the area? I just wondered what you've experienced with that.
Oh, absolutely. You talking tax liens, tax deeds? You talking foreclosures?
Anything like that. I was thinking primarily auctions, but then I thought also pre-foreclosures where people are just having a hard time making their payments and they love to unload that house instead of, get behind and ruin their credit and all of that.
Yeah. I think one thing you have to have a little more when you're doing auction homes or pre-foreclosures or homes that have been foreclosed on the courthouse steps on a monthly basis is that you usually got to be cash friendly. A lot of times in these auctions, you got to pay for it that day.
Right there.
So just be mindful of that. You just got to be cash friendly to be able to purchase it that day. Now, every county is different. I know there are some counties in the state, they give you 90 days to come back and buy those properties. And when you have 90 days, there's some wiggle room and some things you can do. They give you that type of time frame to come back and buy. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of auctions and foreclosed properties, they want you to be able to take full possession of it.
For sure.
So, and I would say $100 auction, that may be hard to find, but maybe a $1,000 tax lien may be easier. So just be mindful of just looking at tax liens and all those if you want to take that route.
Okay, I appreciate that. I don't know much about tax liens at this point, but I know that it's in that category of those special circumstances. So, all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it again.
No worries. Thank you for joining us, Michelle. We hope to see you again soon.
All right, we'll see you.
All right.
No problem.
Okay, and okay, so Michelle was talking about the auctions, right? Makes perfect sense. And you mentioned tax liens. So Jabari kind of has a follow-up to that I would like to read. How do I get investors to let me do the due diligence and bid on properties for them if they don't have time themselves at the auction? So I know you just mentioned that oftentimes with auctions, you need to have the money in place and say, what if you got some investors like, hey, we ain't got time to go down there and wait 5, 6 hours for them to open the gates. Do this is what we're looking for.
Well,
Buy it for us.
well, yeah. If you got I call that a lazy person with a lot of money. Yeah, if you can find that the world is yours. But
I had one of
normally,
my main investors was like that. He was too big to find his deals. And and that's honestly that's just that's a partnership. That's a conversation. Hey, I can go out and find these properties and auction and things of that nature. And y'all talk about the compensation, you talk about, the fact that when the money is due, that's just really a conversation and partnership. I don't know, not one investor be like, nah, I don't want you to go down to the auction and spend 6, 7 hours on my behalf to find me good deals. No investor gonna say no to that, to be honest. So it's just about presenting yourself, creating that partnership with that investor, and presenting great deals to them. No investor going to say no. Yeah.
well, yeah, yeah. If you can build that relationship, again, if they're gonna give you that type of access, a lot of times they use real estate agents to do stuff like that. Though, in reality, if that's what they want to do, they normally just reach out to a realtor or whatever. Not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying that's normally what they'll do or whatever. And a lot of times it's cheaper to use a realtor because they can just pay them the commission versus you trying to get whatever or whatever. So.
And I can add to that. I remember when I was kind of wholesaling for this Israeli guy. He was a big deal. But how we did that was when we went down to the auction, he was never there. He was out in California. We knew his criteria. We knew 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,500 plus square footage. Once you know exactly what they're looking for, now of course you get the auction list before auction day. So the goal is if you know your investors, what they're looking to buy, you go down that list before auction day and you do the due diligence for them. And then you can let them know, hey, these are 5 deals that I'm going down to auction and buy, and whatever the case may be. So you're doing the due diligence for them up front because you know exactly what they're looking for. You know what their price range is, how many bed and bath and square footage they're looking for. So all you're doing is scraping the foreclosure list or the auction list, and just looking for deals that fits their criteria, and then you present it to them.
Okay.
And we need to do the topic.
Okay. Just answer, maybe this would be really quick for Denise. Is it possible to access the MLS without a realtor partnership? Or maybe is there a service that's close enough to MLS that you wouldn't have to use a realtor? But as far as specifically MLS, do you have to have a realtor partnership?
Text the word tool. This will get you what you want. Plus some. That's all you got to do.
Okay, but you still didn't answer the question.
I'm telling you. She asked, is it an option not to have access? This will provide that.
That wasn't her question.
What
She
was
was specific on MLS. Is it possible to access the MLS without a realtor partnership?
Without a partnership with an agent? No.
Okay.
You have to have that too. Yeah. And you have to have an agent. And there's this thing an agent can do where they can set you up to access their MLS database, but it's a whole nother database for third-party people. But they have this place where they can set you up where you can go and log in and look for your own deals. Every county is different, every state is different. I know here in Georgia, our MLS has that, but I think most MLS has that, where they could sign you up, and so you can either get new deals or you be able to log in. It won't be the same MLS that the realtors have, but it has a different interface for third party.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So the question for today's life flipinar number 222 is how to keep yourself motivated until you wholesale your first house and or land deal. And Ty, you have an answer for that?
You can start, Renika.
Um, I don't think there's one answer to that. I think the answer is an overall mindset. You know, are you chasing money? Or are you building a legacy? Well, if you're chasing money, you're gonna get burnt out. If you're chasing a legacy and the why, you're gonna get up every day and not know why you're getting up every day, but it's just a fire inside of you that make you want to get up every day and try it again tomorrow. Why? Because your why is bigger than the defeat. So your why has to be bigger than the defeat. But if you're chasing money, you're looking for a quick buck, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're going to burn yourself out. It's not a get rich quick thing. But if you understand the tool and the asset class of real estate and you understand how powerful it is, you know if I tap into this $1 billion industry, I won't lose. But if you tapping into it only to make a quick dollar or something like that, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to be demotivated because there's going to be months where you don't make money. You got to have something way bigger than the money that makes you want to get up every day and continue to try it, even when it beats you up sometimes. Even when you know it doesn't add up, you still get up because you have this vision. On top of that, you got to have a vision for what you're doing. If you can't even see yourself doing it, trust me, it's not your vision. You have to literally see yourself accomplishing a close and see yourself, talking to these sellers, visualize your success. If you can't visualize your own success, that's not your vision. And you not got to find something that aligns with something that's more aligned with what you want to do in life. Because a lot of people think it's a get rich quick thing, and it's not. It's a get rich for sure. You stick with it, but it's not a get rich quick. And it's also sometimes it's the medium to something else you want to do. Hey, I don't have enough money to start this business, but hey, I'm gonna go over here and wholesale for 2 years, make 6 figures, and then I'm gonna start my business. So what is your why? And that's what keeps you motivated. Nothing beyond that. That's what keeps you motivated to me. What do you think?
Yeah. Before I answer that question, this segment is sponsored by.
Okay.
Okay.
People want us to count properties for them, tell them if they actually have a deal. Text FUP to the number here, and we'll hook you up. Lien. Y'all gonna listen to me. You're gonna listen to me at some point. You're gonna say, "Dang, Tyrone told me that." Text the word MUD. This will help you with a script, speak the lingo when you're dealing with landowners, how to build lists. Remember that. Again, you want to partner with me on deals. Text 5050 for houses. I don't have the other one up here somewhere. Here it is. And for apartments and self-storage, text units or whatever. So how do you stay motivated until you wholesale your first house? Man. Like she said, there's no one answer for that because everybody's not built the same in the way they go about things. For me, and just my recommendation, and the reason I preach leads so much is because number one, you got to have leads, but and it still could be frustrating. But if you're talking to sellers every day, people that own real estate every day, because it's coming from your marketing efforts, if you're generating a proper amount of leads, you really won't have time to be unmotivated in the sense that because of the activity that you're creating. It's just a matter of time. If you're talking to enough sellers, it's just a matter of time to that first deal. If you're not talking to a lot of sellers when I say a lot can be 3 a day. 3 a day turns into 90 to 100 a month, right? That should turn into 2 or 3 deals a month. So your goal is now not just talking to people that own real estate, people that actually you all are discussing a deal. They want to sell, you want to buy. May not work out as far as price, but they want to sell that counts as 1. So you need 3 of those a day. That should just be your goal. I need to be talking to, in some form or fashion, 3 people that want to sell a piece of real estate, right? Houses, hopefully land also, if you listen to me. And then it's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. You'll stumble into a deal and have no idea what you're doing.
Right.
Okay. There you have it. The answer to the question. Alicia, I lost it.
Keep moving your feet. Keep moving your feet.
Activity, man.
All right.
Action.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Did enjoy that. Okay. Okay. Love both answers. Yeah. I don't even know how to follow up on that. But I'm gonna ask a few more questions because we did start a little late. So I'm gonna follow up. Karen, let me find it. Karen was like, ask my question. Um and I have to find it again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm scrolling through all trying to make sure that I don't ask duplicate questions. So yeah, Monique. Hi, I have my possible first deal, but the seller can't get the tenant to schedule a time for me to do an inspection of the property. How do I move forward? So there's a tenant in the property. The seller is like, hey, figure it out with them when you can go, and the tenant just ain't making this easy.
Yeah. I would say that tenants have so much power and some essence. It's been plenty deals that was delayed because a tenant don't want you to get in, or they saying they're not there, or it's just weird stuff. So it's no right answer to that. You really can't go. Even the landlord can't just walk into the house, with the tenant is there. So you have to have confirmation or agreement with the tenant to walk into the house. So it's just one of them things where you just got to continue to massage the tenant and see when they'll be willing to let you in. The landlord does have accountability to kind of require it, but they even got to ask too. What do you say, Don?
Oh no, I wasn't cutting you. I'm sorry. The deal we're trying to work on in DC actually supposed to have closing tomorrow. Then found out until Monday they got squatters. 4 of them. And they ain't leaving.
4, not 4.
Got a court date on the 8th, with the seller, but he didn't tell us, right? And he's mad at us because we still don't want to close. So y'all deal with it. You didn't give us a deal with it price.
Okay.
They're willing to leave, but they know they can get paid to leave because in DC you have to have a certificate of occupancy or something like that.
Right.
If you're renting out a property. And if you don't have that, he's really wasting his time going to court because he's running an illegal boarding house, is the way it's termed to me by the realtor. So he's really wasting
so they're not squatters; they real tenants, kind of.
Yeah, they're paying them. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's him. Well, he's power of attorney of the owner, which is 88 or whatever. So, but she's in the right mind. But she can't, physically be back and forth.
Around.
But we didn't find this out till Monday. We've been working on this for over a month. Still may be able to do the deal, but he he was threatening not to give any more time, but we called him like, man, would you do that? Would you still buy a property? Come on, that's all you gotta ask people. Would you do that?
Right. No. You got to spend money to get people out. You don't know how long, because some squatters are professional squatters.
Oh yeah,
they're professional. They know the law. They know they can go in, long they go to court and put $100 down, is going to extend them for another 6 weeks. They know this law. Like it's, so that could be, you don't know how long that'll be to get those renters out.
Wow. Okay. So the next question is from Karen. Hey, Flip. Do you buy tax lien properties or land, and do you know the process to acquiring them?
Do we buy tax lien properties or land, or do we know the process of acquiring them? Again, MUD on the land. Check that out. Text the letters. Well, I don't pursue tax liens in the sense to try to acquire to get some form of control or ownership of a property. If we target tax lien property, is with the intent that they may be motivated because they haven't paid the taxes. It just increases the chances of them possibly being motivated to sell, cheap enough to make the deal, and then the tax will just settle that closing as normal or whatever. So to answer your question, no, that's nothing I really pursue as a purchase or to pursue those. Some people run their entire operation that way, just not my lane. That's just another potential motivated seller list, right? So your thoughts?
And taxing is very, very powerful. No one talks a lot about it because we think that, it takes a year, or some states it may be 3 years. But if you think about it, that's what wealth is. Wealth is time. Sit on it. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Sit on it. Buy tax lien and sit on it. Because tax liens is a very powerful kept secret. You gotta be cash heavy. Because most states you got to buy it right then and there. There's some states that allow you to buy 30 days later, 90 days later. But you got to figure out what state you're in. If you're in a tax lien state, a tax deed state, or you're both. But I think tax lien and tax deeds are one of the best kept secrets in real estate that no one really talks about. But there's people out there that all they do is specialize in buying tax liens and getting these properties pennies on a dollar. But it's lucrative. I would learn. It's free. It's lucrative. You go to your county. You can download the foreclosure list from your county. Do your research. Find out if your county is a tax lien, a tax deed state. Figure out what your foreclosure dates here in Georgia or Metro Atlanta. We have foreclosure in every county the first Tuesday. The courthouse the first Tuesday of every month is a foreclosure auction day in Metro Atlanta. So you want to figure out what your auction date is. Some counties once a year. So just figure out, do your research on your county.
All right, there you have it. Next question is going to be from Malcolm Cunningham. He states, so I'm working on a JV deal, but the title says that they need heirship affidavit, in which they say it has to be from unrelated family members. My problem is there's a handwritten will in place in which it was filed somehow in the state of Florida, but the home is in Alabama. What should I do? Should I try another title company or search for unrelated family members to get the affidavit filled out?
So who's selling?
Well, yeah, if the title company or closing attorney has said, hey, all you got to do is just get the area affidavits in place, then that, if all the heirs are on the same page, that's simple. Now, if you're trying to do it yourself, no, that ain't gonna work. You got to get that approval through a title company or a closing attorney, however your state gets down on that, because they got to provide title insurance. They give you the solution that they say, hey, if you do this or this happens, we'll provide title insurance. That's the goal, So because buyers want to buy with title insurance, or they're idiots. But I can say that because some situations might have to dictate, but you know what I mean. So, you may know to do that, but it needs to be initiated by a title company or a closing attorney to do that. Not you just knowing that needs to be done. And again, all the heirs have to be on the same page to do that.
Should the seller be selling the property, which is one of the heirs anyway, that should be able to complete that document?
Yeah. Let me explain what an area affidavit is first of all.
Okay, and when you do so, why does it have to be from an unrelated family member?
It has to be somebody that's not related to the family. An area affidavit is basically, I know here in Alabama, you get two people not related to the deceased to say, yeah, these are their heirs. That's basically what it's saying. That's it. So two people, because you got to get a notary to sign.
But it has to be someone that knows the people, right?
Yeah, they have to know the people.
They gotta know.
So two people that know the people, a notary, the title company or closing attorney prepares it, and it's two people for each heir. Say that, yeah, this is one of such and such heirs. This is Miss Johnson's heir. Two people.
So we're just basing this off.
It had to be notarized, huh?
So you keep saying it has to be notarized, as that's supposed to be the honest factor.
Well, I'm just saying that they
so
consider somebody.
I guess I'm just playing devil's advocate. So I've lived next to the Williams the last 20 years, and I knew it was 3 kids in the house, and now it's these other 2 from down the street, and I can sign the affidavit for them 3, but I don't know about them other 2. So who's signing for the other 2? Because they trying to make their
If the
argument
other
like,
2 are not recognized as heirs, it ain't no. That's whatever.
oh, we going to court because that's my daddy too. He might have been a
Well,
Rolling Stone, but
it may be too late.
That seems like that'll be
bad, cause that bread gonna be divvied up already. They got to go after them.
wow.
That seems like anybody can sign that
Yeah,
document.
like anybody could just say, "Oh yeah, he brought."
Oh, yeah, that's what. Yeah, I
No,
heard
the
it.
title company, they're going to that's part of their job. They're going to identify who those heirs are, man. That's part of their job.
I get that, but on the same token, using my scenario, if somebody signs for the 2 that
You
aren't
could
on the birth
always send some
certificate-
straggler kids out there somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, how do you ever get this done?
That could always be the case. But they have the title company is comfortable with who the heirs are.
Okay.
Whatever research they do to figure that out, they're comfortable with saying these are the people that are the heirs. Trust me, I tried out the hard way on that.
Okay.
Had a house.
So can this person? Can it be a cousin, a family member, or does it have to be a friend of the family?
They can't be they can't be an heir, basically.
They can't be an heir. They can be
an heir. That's what I'm saying. They can't be an heir.
Okay.
So that should be an easy fix for him. Just get the document from the closing attorney. Ask the seller.
He needs to clear up all the heirs on the same page. Because that's irrelevant if all the heirs ain't on the side. Because they still got to come to closing and sign off on it. That's just to get it to closing.
Mm-hmm.
All the heirs still got to come to closing and sign off on it, or be, it got to close on it. They still got to sign off on whether they come to close or not.
Okay. So listen.
Yeah.
That was a part of the question, but his question, the follow-up part of that was that this particular title company wants an heirship affidavit from unrelated family members. Right. But there is a will that already states who's the heirs of the property. So the question is, can I just go to somewhere else?
Obviously, the title company don't care about that will.
That title company doesn't.
They don't. That's all I need.
Is it the possibility that another title company?
They don't think that will is sufficient.
Okay.
Wow. So that's why they want the additional documents.
If it was something handwritten, was it probated? It don't matter if it's handwritten or not. Was it actually probate? Just because somebody pulled something out. Oh, grandmama had this in her Bible.
Right.
Is this a copy of this down at the courthouse?
All right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? No. Before she passed.
Right.
Okay. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he did follow up that all the heirs are on the same page. They're just all in different states.
Oh, you in business?
Oh, well, yeah. That means you can ask them for 2 family members that can vouch for them being heirs and get them to sign up for it.
You ready to rock, baby boy?
Yeah, you good.
Hey, you making something out of nothing. You ready to rock?
All right.
Money.
Yeah, the will was in the good book. Sure was.
Look, hey, there's a lot of wills in the good books right now. Grandma wills are in the good book.
Better be down there.
Grandma ain't never filed the wills.
Speaking on that, guys, it's very important to make sure you're leaving a legacy for your family. Get those wills in place as long as life insurance. Please do that. It's not for you, it's for those that you're leaving behind. I know that we don't like talking about death, but it is it's inevitable. So make sure you're taking care of your family. Just putting that PSA out there. Yeah. So Evan wants to know what are the
people up here, ain't
they really ain't saying nothing.
Okay, all right.
I got it. And then I'm gonna show you something that you didn't even show me about TikTok. Did you know that all I had to do was swipe right and it makes all the comments really big?
I don't ever do it, so I know I don't know it.
I would love to show you that.
Okay.
Love to show you that. The only thing up there is someone wanted to know, what are you streaming on?
Where are we streaming?
It says what, like maybe what platform you're using to stream, like what
right
service?
Well, right there, TikTok.
Okay.
You don't have an option.
Okay.
Or whatever. But like on the other platform, we use StreamYard. That allows us to stream on Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good over here. Oh, and the other one, which is over here, which I was gonna get to, was should you drive for dollars in a bad neighborhood?
Yeah, well,
Wherever you
Absolutely.
feel comfortable driving for dollars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, I got
You
this.
Maybe
don't, you don't want to go late at night,
I
you know.
know what you mean.
You roll through there, you want to.
Just be careful. Be careful. You never know what's gonna happen. Just be careful. But
You don't belong here. Okay, so Evan, what are the main things to focus on if you are still working a 9 to 5? Which marketing strategies and how much should I spend per month realistically? Let's be realistic here. And is 1,000 D for D leads a month enough? 1,000? Oh my God.
A driver for dollars? That's 30 a day.
That is,
$1,000 for dollar leads.
oh
That's 30 a day.
my
That's
What
God.
awesome.
are you looking at every day?
Working a 9 to 5
Oh well, yeah.
and familiar life as well? No. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? You must got the mailman
Yeah,
and the
working a
trash
9
man
to
on deck.
5. Well, if you work, you said a 9 to 5. That don't mean you actually work a 9 to 5. Does
We
it?
just mean like a 9 to 5, like a job, a day
Okay.
job.
Yeah,
You got a job, baby.
you had the 3 to 11 shift. Yeah, oh yeah, you make that happen.
Answer the question.
And yeah, I mean,
That's
you know,
30 a day. That's a
depending-
lot. 30 a day is a lot. That's a lot, but it's possible.
Okay.
So
I think most importantly, you work a 9 to 5. Regardless, you working a 9 to 5 or not, the nuclear to this business is lead generation.
Yeah.
Regardless if you working one or not, is lead generation. When you can find out how to lead generate around your 9 to 5, that's the focus. Because you got the leads, the opportunity is in the leads.
Now the thing is that now you gotta work them too. Now you're just gonna try to get to 1,000 and then work them. You know what I'm saying? So,
You done did the most. Now you got to work it. You're like, oh man, but but no, if you can generate 1,000 driving for dollar leads, I mean, hey, you in good shape. I mean, the name of the game is a numbers game.
Yeah.
So the key is just making sure you are generating leads on a daily basis, and you're gonna win a 9 to 5 or not. Just generating good leads on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. That got to be your focus every day, is generating good leads.
Okay. So we got that. But realistically, how much we're spending and which marketing strategies?
oh, what?
That was a part of the question too.
Oh, what other?
Yeah.
Well, you build your list first. All right, then you need to skip trace it. Text the word skip. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Once you skip trace, you need the tool to dial. If you want to dial efficiently and at the speed of light, dialer. Then you need a script. Text the word script. I got you. Is everything you need, man. Oh, and then the contracts.
Okay.
So boom.
You get your
Whether
business done.
houses, this is the contract for houses. Text that word. And for land, text that word earth. Beam me up, Scotty.
I think $1,000 a month is good. The key is having all your tools. Having all your tools like prop screen and things of that nature, the dollar service, the skip trace service. These tools is really what really expedite your success. Is these tools. Just making sure within that money you want to spend on a monthly basis that you have enough money to spend on the tools you need to really expedite your success. Can you do it without it? I think we all have done it without prop screen and all these other services, but I would say it definitely helps 10 times to be able to find things and find great leads a lot quicker having those tools. So just make sure within that monthly you have the tools, and then in that monthly you have the ability to generate your list, to do your bandit signs. You want to be able to have maybe 100 bandit signs a month, maybe 200 a month. How much would that be?
What bandit
Todd,
signs?
if you get 100 bandit signs a month?
Probably Probably right around 200 with shipping.
200. So if you're looking at it, if you're working with $1,000, you know, do 100 bandit signs a month for 6 to 8 months straight until you began to build up your buyers list and things of that nature. But those are the things you want to do and make sure you have in your monthly budget, so you can, you know, just expedite your success with the right tools.
All right. Hopefully, guys, we've answered all of your questions. The show will pop up back across the social media platforms for you to preview, watch again as soon as we get done today. You can reach Ty across all social media platforms. I do highly suggest that you join the Wholesaling Real Estate with Ty the Flipman Facebook group. There's a lot of users in there. Some may be in your area that you can partner with. All the text codes, text them to 205-964-5243. Ty is available. Is on live 3 times a week, and hopefully we will be here next Thursday. And Renikia, for those of them that may want to know how to get in.
Yes. As always, super thankful to be a part of the Flipman Show. My name is Renikia Williams. I own a private lending company. My goal is to deploy capital because although we teach about no money down deals, at some point in time on your real estate journey, you may want to start flipping houses or holding or building a rental legacy and things of that nature. And you will somewhat need cash if you understand the power of leveraging other people's money. However, we specialize in fix and flips, buying whole, new construction, development, multifamily. If you're looking to really get into real estate and take this thing to the next level, we do not require tax returns, income verification, nor pay stubs, strictly based on the asset, your credit, and your background. Just go to findmynextdeal.com, or you can reach me via Facebook or Instagram. I'm definitely DM friendly. You can reach me via those social media channels too.
All right, you guys, that's how you can get in touch with Flip. That's how you can get in touch with the beautiful Miss Renikia. What else you got for us, Ty, before we close out?
Oh, that's it. Nothing else. Boston kicking Miami's butt. Let me go watch the
Oh,
rest of it.
really?
Oh, yeah. 70 to 45. Beat them by 25 at the half.
Dang. Yesterday was like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Okay, guys, get on your hustle. Go flip some real estate, wholesale some real estate, invest in some real estate, do something to build generational wealth for your family, and we will see you on the flip side.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.